What's going on, Wise Take Nation? This is an MLB DFS podcast. I am the host, Paulie D, and I am joined once again by the freaky one, Mr. Johnny the Greek. What's going on, Johnny?
Not much, man. It's the high scoring slate right now. We got some hopefully some late action here. Will get us into some money, so we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, you need like 7 points from 4 guys. You got
Yeah.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm in the money on 2 out of 3 teams. My highest scoring team's got a $156, and I got Turner going, who hasn't done anything for me. I know you got him as well, so maybe we get like a late home run from him.
Turner dong or something.
Yeah, that'd be great. That'd be great. And then my second team's got 133. I think, I'm on the border, but I think there's not a ton of guys left out there that have a lot of ownership, so I think that I'll hold on. So 2 out of 3, and it was actually my 2 most higher dollar ones. So I'm content. If we can get that Turner dong, I'll be up in the around 170. That might bump me up a couple hundred, but right now it's just like I'm up like $50 on the day. So I'll take it. I was excited that I was doing well early, Betts, JD, Odor, it was Severino was balling, Peralta was balling, and then just the other spots on my lineup just kind of went cold. Manny Margot, he had I don't know how many guys he left on base, but it had to be 8, so he kind of hurt me a little bit today. A lot of the Padres did. But all in all, I have a feeling some people in the nation are doing well because most of the stuff we were on is working out. As long as you're stuck to Severino and Peralta.
Yeah.
Kluber
and we were all over them. Those are the two of the pitchers that me and CK liked today on the show. We were both on them and Stripling, but Stripling I decided to go with Servino and Cash today, which turned out to be a good decision. But
Stripling got pulled early. He was doing all right, but nothing special. And the Dodgers, they're quick on the trigger sometimes with their starters.
Yeah, and didn't take any Cubs, and the Cubs, 7 runs, man.
Yeah, it's hard to grab Cubs on the slate like this. How good Stripling's been looking, and just so many better options and better spots. It's really hard to get that contrarian unless you're building a lot of lineups. But we got 2 slates tomorrow. There's a 3-game early. We're not going to cover that one. Got to have at least 4 games or so. But we will talk about this night slate. What do we got? 11 games?
Yeah, 11 games.
Gamer. That's nice. I like that kind of size. Let's jump in and see what is on the docket. I haven't even, this is my total hardcore first look. I haven't even glanced over the slate at all. So we'll see what she has for us. The first game I got here is the Seattle Mariners and Wade LeBlanc taking on the Baltimore Orioles and Alex Cobb. Looks like right now the Seattle Mariners are slight favorites, -113. We've got a 9.5 total, and looks like 80 degrees and a lot of humidity with a 14-mile-per-hour wind blowing out to left field. What do you think?
Yeah, this spot I would typically look at a guy like Wade LeBlanc, but $7,800 is just an outrageous price for him. He's just not a guy that's got tremendous upside. So for me, I won't be going there tomorrow. I just don't think he's going to pay off his salary. Alex Cobb is always a cross-up for me. Just don't think he's very good. I think we can look at some of these Mariners bats against Cobb. Wonder the health on Nelson Cruz. He was scratched earlier today. But if he's going to be in the lineup tomorrow, I definitely have interest in him. Gene Segura, Mitch Haniger, Kyle Seager hit a home run today. He's looking like he's starting to warm up a little bit here. So I think those guys are all in play tomorrow against Alex Cobb. And then against LeBlanc, the only guys I'm really interested in are going to be a Danny Valencia tomorrow and Manny Machado, obviously, every day. And if Joey Ricker in this projected lineup, if he's going to start tomorrow and he's going to bat first like the projected lineup has, I have some interest in him as a salary saver.
Yeah, anytime he's facing a lefty, you might find Joey Rickard leading off in a nice value play, especially in cash games. I was trying to get a closer look at the humidity here because when Baltimore gets those high humidity games, the ball really carries, and we already got the wind in our favor here. Only 80 degrees, but yeah, not really too humid, so that's not really going to be in our favor. But I'm not looking at these arms. I mean, maybe like Alex Cobb if we need it at 4-5. I guess I could deal with that, but I doubt it. Wade LeBlanc, I'm not going to use. Baltimore seems to be heating up, and guys like Danny Valencia, mash lefties, Jonathan Scope, Tim Beckham's back in this lineup. Adam Jones is a guy that's very hard to strike out, so he's making a lot of contact. I see this team is warming up. Mark Trumbo's been really hot the last week. He's homered off some of the best pitchers in baseball. So I think I might look at the Baltimore lineup, and I don't mind Seattle's. We'll see. Yeah, you're right about Nelson Cruz. He didn't play tonight. He didn't pinch hit in a very close game, so not sure if there's an issue or not. He's got a Q tag right now, so like him being out would definitely like hurt the stack in my opinion. Like I'd really want him to be in there, but Alex Cobb keeps the ball on the ground. I don't know if Seattle's going to end up beating a stack that I really have interest in. We'll see, though. We'll see what else is to come. This next game maybe could be interesting. We got the New York Yankees and Luis Cessa taking on Zach Eflin and the Philadelphia Phillies. The Yanks are minus 122 favorites here, and we've got a 9-run total. We also have a 13-mile-per-hour wind blown out to left center in this one. What do you think?
Yeah, so, Luis Cessa's not, this great pitcher. He's an okay pitcher. I think he has a nice little cheap price tag tomorrow at $5,900 against Phillies, which I understand the Phillies have been a little bit better as of late, but they've struggled against right-handed pitching all year long, striking out a lot. So I think he might be. We have to get. I don't know where else we're at with pitching yet because I haven't looked at the slate before today, but before this show. But he might be a guy we might look at as a cheap pitching option today. So we'll circle back there later with our pitchers. But as of right now, I think he's in play tomorrow at this $5,900 price. For me, Zach Eflin definitely not in play. $8,000. I don't like his price, and there's a lot of Yankees bats that can get here. We'll see probably Gardner return tomorrow. And so I think that the Yankees lineup will be real strong tomorrow. Not that it wasn't strong today with Hicks in there, but I do like Gardner lefty on righty here. So I think he's going to be fine tomorrow. And I really like John Carlos Stanton, one of my favorite plays against Eflin tomorrow. He just matches up pretty well. So. And I think, again, a lot of these Yankees are going to match up well there, but I think you can go to Stanton as a one-off.
Yeah, definitely like the Yankees bats. Zach Eflin's decent, but I think this Yankees team is kind of getting warm. This is a good park. Wind's blowing out. Favors the right-handed bats. We're going to have a bunch of those in the lineup. And once you get past that, the Phillies bullpen's not that great. We're gonna get nine innings of at bats. Definitely have interest in the Yankees stack. Whether it's Gardner or what's his name?
Hicks.
I'll take either one. Hicks seems to be really hot lately, and his price hasn't really come up that high yet, like most Yankee guys do. So either one, definitely include in the stack. Maybe they'll play them both. Doubtful, but possible with what's his name, Gary the Goat, most likely injured and going to be out for a couple weeks. So, we may get Stanton playing a little more DH and maybe move in. There
won't be a DH till tomorrow because we're in
Philly. That's right. We're in Philly, so there's no DH. So yeah, probably not both of those, but either one I'll take. Aaron Judge been hitting the ball incredibly hard over the last 15 days or so, harder than anyone in baseball. Homered yesterday, didn't tonight, but him, Stanton, Didi's coming back around like all the Yanks. I got to dig into Cessa. I got to see what he throws. I really don't have like a firm opinion, but I tend to think that I would like the Philly bats a little bit. Adabel Herrera, Rhys Hoskins, Cesar Hernandez, Carlos Santana. I mean, they've faced two of the Yankees' better arms the last 2 days and haven't done much. Don't think Cessa's anywhere in the caliber of those two guys, and think this is a spot where they finally get something done in this series. I think I like the Phillies stack as well, but check back with me tomorrow either during the strategy session or the Y stream. I'll have some more research on him. I don't really remember what he throws, if he's overpowering, but I know he's made like 5 to 10 starts for the Yankees. Like, he's a young kid trying to make his way up. So I got to dive into that. But I think Philly could be interesting as well. Next game up, we got the Oakland A's and Chris Bassett taking on the Detroit Tigers and Mike Fiers. We got the A's as minus 135 favorites in this one, and we're looking at another 9 total. A couple high total games so far. What do you think?
Yeah, just like we talked about it today, this game is going to be probably a score fest. Both pitchers not very good. Both offenses are definitely in play tomorrow. So unfortunately, we're not going to get a cheap Chad Pinder home run today. He won't probably be in the lineup today, but I think Dustin Flowers or Matt Joyce cheap home run today would definitely be suffice. So I like both offenses here today. I'm not going to play their pitcher. I don't think there's a reason to go there. I like Leonis Martin a lot today. I liked him a lot yesterday as well. I think if we get Goodrum batting second, that's going to be really intriguing tomorrow. So this projected lineup 1 through 5, 1 through 6 looks pretty good. If they can just get Victor Martinez out of there, it would look even better. So I think I'm interested in some of these Detroit bats, and definitely have interest in the Athletics here with Mike Fiers being a reverse splits kind of guy.
Yeah, I mean, definitely have interest in the Detroit side. I don't know why Leonis Martin is not in the projected lineup on my end here. That's odd. I would assume he's going to play unless he got hurt or something.
I have him batting first.
Yeah, I don't. I have Goodrum batting first. I'm using Fantasy Labs.
Okay.
I don't know. It's just odd to me that he's not in the starting lineup, so I got to double check that. But both these offenses, like you said, are going to be in play here. Got to see who profiles well against Fiers. He throws a lot of moving stuff, a lot of breaking balls. So, I think it's going to be some of the usual suspects, and we got some value options, like you mentioned, Matthew Joyce, Dustin Fowler. Jed Lowry continues to be hot. Matt Olson's going to profile well, I would assume, here, lefty on righty. KD, you can always play. So I'm with you, man. I like both offenses here. So far, this in the Yankees game, like, more intriguing offensively than anything, and we still got 8 more games, so we'll see how the rest of this boils up. But definitely interested in the offenses there. Really haven't mentioned a pitcher yet that I'm liking on this slate, so maybe this game. We got the Pittsburgh Pirates and Ivan Nova taking on the New York Mets and Zach Wheeler. This game looks like the Mets are a minus 110 favorite. And we have a 7.5 total. We also have 13-mile-per-hour winds blowing out to left field here as well, but like 70-degree temp. So cool day, but we got some wind blowing. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, I guess Ivanova probably is going to play tomorrow. I don't really like his price at 7,000, but I can see the merit in playing him against the Mets. Yeah, I can see the merit, though, playing against the Mets. The Mets have been struggling here a little bit. But, again, I don't know if it's something I love. Again, I think I'm going to search for something a little bit better here. I think there's some guys here that can definitely get to him. Michael Conforto leading off is if that's going to happen tomorrow, that's a pretty good situation for him against Ivanova, whatever. That's really struggles against lefties. Ivan, so, yeah, he struggles against lefties. I think we go there. I think it's a good spot. He's cheap. And Zach Wheeler, though, on the other hand, is not a bad pitcher. The only problem that we have here is Pittsburgh's going to throw a ton of lefties at him, so it's probably not a great spot for him tomorrow. So, I'm not normally a guy that likes to stack up Pittsburgh, but depending on all the situation tomorrow in the lineup, I might go ahead and stack up some of these bats. I mean, if we get Austin Meadows batting second tomorrow, that looks pretty good. Colin Moran batting fourth would be amazing. So if we can get some of these lefties batting closer together, I might be interested in a stack here. If not, it would be probably some fade for me on the Pittsburgh side.
Yeah, I don't know what the rest of the slate entails, but, definitely 7.5 total, 2 weaker offensive teams. Like, I think both these guys are going to be in play. Wheeler, I like his price. I know Pittsburgh doesn't strike out a ton, but he kind of has, higher end to, lower end elite strikeout kind of stuff of late. So he might be able to get to 6 or 7 in a good park, keep the runs to a minimum here. I don't mind Wheeler at 6'3" on DraftKings. Got to see what he is on FanDuel. Nova, even harder pill to swallow, I think. More expensive with less strikeout upside. Both these teams don't really strike out a lot versus righties. Pittsburgh almost probably second lowest in the league, and the Mets, down low. It's not like when they face lefties. So, we'll see. I mean, I don't like either of these two pitchers a ton. Wheeler at 6'3", sounds like an SP2 that could possibly be in play in tournaments. Not a cash play, and hopefully we don't need to go to Ivan Nova, although, right now I think streaming pitchers against the Mets is a sharp play. So maybe, depends what else is on the slate. We'll come back around, like you said. Next game, we got the Los Angeles Angels and Andrew Heaney taking on the Boston Red Sox and Rick Porcello. This is an interesting spot. The Red Sox are minus 139 favorites, and we are looking at a 9.5 total, which seems really high to me. What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, if this game was in Anaheim, I'd probably leaning towards playing Heaney. But, this ballpark, I don't think it's the right spot for him against the Boston heating up. Heaney's a guy that can definitely home run prone. Not the right ballpark here. And it's going to be pretty hot here. I'm assuming tomorrow. I'm not going to go there with him. I've been fading Mike Trout for a while now.
It's actually not going to be hot. You're looking at 67-degree temps. Cool up in the Northeast tomorrow.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, I've been, with Heaney though. It's just, again, the ballpark. It's not the greatest for him with all these bats here. I don't have interest in Mike Trout. I've been fading him ever since he's been DHing. I just don't think he's right. He hasn't been hitting that great ever since he's been hurt. He's hurt his finger. So I feel like if you're not.
I noticed today, he was on the bases, he had just walked, but he had a mitt on. I don't know if that's what he puts on when he's running.
He always puts it on when he's on the bases.
Okay. So he's not using that when he's.
It's for steals. Yeah.
No. I mean, this was a protective kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah, he's wearing this mitt thing. It's protecting his hand. So.
Okay.
You mentioned it on the live stream today that he's got the injuries. I wasn't even aware of that, but prior to that, I was talking to CK about how he's just been cold. The strikeouts have been up, and I think that all kind of makes sense. He's got a finger injury, he's playing through it, but he's not 100%. And
so he sprained his finger. He can't throw the ball. That's the thing. He can't throw a baseball, right. And so that's why he's not in the field. And the way I look at it is that if you can't throw a baseball, okay, you can't grip a bat. Yep. They're go inside, and he just doesn't look good at the plate. If you see him, he does not look good.
Been way up the last few games,
And before today, he was 2 for 14 since he had the injury. He just doesn't look good. And at this price is $6,000. There's just no way you can go there. So he's a total fade for me. And then when you really think about it, then who's left in this lineup? You got Noah Ohtani. You got Upton, basically, is the guy now.
Yeah.
And so it's I'm just not really interested in the Angels. Maybe an Upton one-off. But that's really it, And then you look at the Boston side, and the Boston side just got so many good bats here. And Heaney really has really been struggling with the home run ball. I think that this Boston stack's in play tomorrow. I think they can really get to Heaney. I think they're fine. I think this is one of the better spots of the day.
Interesting. I mean, I don't disagree. Heaney is homer prone. We've seen the Red Sox hit a lefty again today. They still struggle and they still strike out a lot. Heaney's interesting to me at 7.6. The first pitcher that I like, because of the upside, strikeout upside. The Red Sox striking out the second most in baseball versus lefties. We know Heaney can strike guys out at times. Outside of Betts and Martinez, I'm not really too scared of the rest of the Boston lineup against a lefty. Maybe Martinez homers off him, maybe even Betts does, but as long as they're solos, you can handle that if he makes up for it in the strikeouts. we'll see what this lineup looks like. I have interest, but I would like to come off of him. But so far, he's probably the most interesting pitcher, except for Rick Porcello. And, to your point of Mike Trout struggling, and then who else they got. Porcello's been pretty solid so far this year. Let me see if I got an umpire on him. Like you said, he could be in line for the win. Things to like about Porcello. Recent numbers, not bad. Only allowing 33% hard hits, 18% line drives, 91 mile per hour exit velocity. So I could definitely get behind Rick Porcello if Mike Trout is hobbled. And he's going to have a pretty decent pitching umpire. So I think Porcello is interesting as well. Like I said, like Heaney, maybe. I don't mind picking on the Red Sox with a lefty, with the guy who's got strikeout upside at 7.6 on DraftKings. But hopefully there's better arms that we can come to. But Porcello, I like him right now. Still don't love any of these guys at pitcher, but from what we've talked about, these are probably my favorite two, even in this ballpark, especially with the cooler weathers. Yeah. And good pitching umpire. So
now, Paul, the one thing I was going to say about Haney though is that if it was in Anaheim, I would be on Haney just because Boston has not been good against lefties. But this ballpark, man, with that short, the monster short, brought in. I just think that these guys can get to him. I think JD Martinez. If you see JD Martinez and then Betts goes after one, and then Bogarts gets a hold of one, that's going to be enough for them to pull him. So, and then the Angels bullpen is terrible.
Yeah, I mean the Angels bullpen is terrible. They got to work out today. The guy Lamb didn't get out of second inning, so they might not want to go to the pen that early. We'll see. Hopefully it's a moot point. We got better arms on the rest of the slate. Robbie Ray. Wow, is this his first start? Robbie Ray in the Arizona Diamondbacks. He's pitched before this.
Yeah,
like since coming back recently.
Oh, since going over the DL, no.
Yeah. This is gonna be his first start back in a while. Yeah. Taking on the Miami Marlins in Y.E. Chen. Looks like the Diamondbacks are going to be minus 161 favorites, and we have a 7-8 run total. I did not know that Robbie Ray was making his comeback. I have no idea how he's been doing in the minors or rehab assignments. Definitely something I'm going to have to look into. What do you think?
Yeah, just on the surface of Robbie Ray, if he's going to come back as pitching his normal self, this is a slam dunk matchup for him tomorrow against the Marlins, a great ballpark. So it looks good there. Let me see here. So yeah, they said that he looked really good in shape for this start. That's what I'm looking at here. That he looked good in his rehab start. So let me pull it up real quick. But for $10,000, that's pretty good matchup for him. Again, he's left-handed, so we're not going to get. We're not really worried too much about Bohr and Dietrich, so the guys that got the power there. But I definitely think it's fine there.
So I just read that he was supposed to make his third rehab start yesterday, but when Clay Buchholz got hurt, they decided to just bring him back up. He only threw 66 pitches in his most recent rehab start, so expect some restrictions. We'll have to see. 10K on a guy who could have like an 80-pitch leash, that might not be good. But no, I certainly like the matchup as well.
Yeah, but I think if we're going to get a 75-pitch limit, I don't think we can pay 10K for him.
Yeah, no, exactly. It depends. We don't. That's just he threw 66. We don't know of any limit, but it's something we're going to have to keep our ears out and see what comes out. With no news of a limit, what's your thoughts? Say they just don't say anything.
Yeah, I think maybe in GPPs I would take a shot. I don't think I would do it in cash. Mm-hmm. I just think that we need that security. But it just depends. I think what shapes up, what lineups are out there. What Miami throws out there, and what other pitchers we have on the slate. But if it was my choice right now, I probably would take Robbie Ray on a 75 pitch limit over some of the other options we have right now.
Yep. I agree. And like if it can get closer to like a 90 pitch limit, then I'm even better. But I mean, he's got elite strikeout stuff when he's right. JT Realmuto missed today with like a sort of injury. If he's out of the lineup, like who do they have that you would fear here?
Sure.
No one. Literally no one. So definitely somebody I have interest to. He's only 9K on FanDuel. I like that as well. And by turning to the FanDuel page, I learned that we do have a couple other good pitchers on this slate.
Yes, we do.
What about the Diamondbacks bats? Yi Chin,
he's terrible. He's terrible. He's really bad. I prefer the righties here, obviously. Paul Goldschmidt, Nick Ahmed, John Ryan Murphy. Those are the guys I prefer. Even Ketel Marte's okay. And then Chris Owings, always cheap, offers you some savings. And, Devin Marrero at third base tomorrow. Those are the guys I look at, the righties, typically. The lefties, I'm not really looking at single from David Peralta tomorrow. But, I think those guys are fine. And on the Arizona guys, the only guy I really worried about here is going to be Brian Anderson. I don't think JT Realmuto is going to make the lineup tomorrow. But I think Brian Anderson's got some power, and he can definitely do some damage.
Yeah. I mean, maybe. I'm probably not going to go anywhere on Miami.
No, I probably wouldn't either. There's too many bats to go to.
Yeah. But Arizona, there's going to be some right-handed value depending who makes the lineup, whether it's Owings, Nick Ahmed, like I said, maybe even Devin Marrero. Ketel Marte's a switch hitter, and obviously Goldschmidt, who's been one of the hottest hitters the last month. Definitely in play. Not the best park. Not sure, if I'll end up here myself or not. J.R. Murphy, if he draws a starter catcher, he'd be in play as well. But certainly like picking on Yi Chen. So if there's not many other good bat spots, then could find myself on Arizona. Just don't love taking bats in this park all that often. Like if I do a stack, it usually would be like 3-man or less. I don't like going 4 and 5s in Miami. But against Yi Chen, maybe we'll make an exception. Next game we got is the San Diego Padres and Clayton Richard taking on the Texas Rangers and Mike Minor. We got two lefties here. The Rangers are minus 121 favorites, and we are looking at a 9.5 total. Also have a projected weather of 101 degrees with 11-mile-per-hour winds, kind of crosswinding from right to left. What do you think?
Yeah, so this game today kind of let us down. A lot of people wanted to go there. But I was trying to say that this isn't going to be a cake matchup for either team. Tyson Ross is not that bad, and Austin Divins-Dirks isn't that bad either. And Padres aren't really good against pitching. So I think, today, we got a much better matchup for both sides here. I think Clayton Richards is a lefty, though, but he's not that good of a pitcher. I think that the righties can definitely get to him, and even some of these lefties will be fine against them. Now, Mike Minor, on the other hand, he's not a gas can. He's not a guy I like to stack against. I think you could pick some pieces off of here of the Padres tomorrow, and they'll be fine against them. But I don't think I want to stack against them. I have not had great luck doing that in the past, and I think most people have stacked against them haven't. So it's not a guy I want to pitch to matchup, but again, it's not a guy I really want to stack. I think you can go take a look at Will Myers. Manuel Margot was pretty terrible today, but he's up at the top of the lineup. Hunter Renfroe, those are all good one-offs, and I like Perella as cheap price still. So you can throw a couple of those guys in there. I wouldn't do a full stack, but I think they're all in play here against the Rangers. And Elvis Andrews tomorrow and Adrian Beltre in the middle of the lineup are great options tomorrow. And don't forget Robinson Chirinos. This guy's on fire. He had a home run in the last 2 games, and I should have gone there with my catcher, and I didn't, made a mistake. But he's on fire right now. He's cheap. I definitely think he's a good cheap catcher option tomorrow against Richards.
Yeah, this is an interesting spot. Both these pitchers are very heavy ground ball guys. Minor, at least me and CK did. Not sure if you did. We used him in his last start as like a cheap SP2. Worked out really well. I think it's like his third quality start in a row. Like coming in good form. Now this is obviously a great hitting environment, but we got 2 ground ball pitchers. I think it's similar to today's scenario where you don't want to go crazy here. Like, sure, there's one-offs on both sides. Like, likely to see some home runs in this game, but maybe not as much as normally in this situation because of how ground ball prone both these pitchers are. I mean, real quick, let me just pull. I'm willing to bet they're both in the 60% of ground balls on this slate. Yeah, Clayton Richards, 63% ground balls, and Minor, 61%. So, I mean, that's a lot of balls going down into the ground. Neither of them really give up a ton of home runs. Minor's a little bit more homer prone than Richard, but going to be on the lower end of whatever else is on the slate. You know, like a Hunter Renfroe or a Villanueva or a Will Myers one-off, sure. You know, a little 2-man power stack is fine. And on Texas, the guys you mentioned, you know, Andrews, Beltre, Chirinos, those are probably going to be the main targets, but I don't think I'm going to go crazy with this spot tomorrow and hope that it doesn't come back to bite me. But it seems more like a spot like today where it's going to let down, you know, teams that strike out a bunch, really not the greatest of offenses against ground ball pitchers. Like, the only real good thing is the environment. Like, other than you put this game in San Diego and you're not using a single bat. So we'll see. You know, I think there's just going to be better spots on the slate.
Yeah, and the one thing I was going to say, Paulie, is that, I was on mine in the last 2 games when he was pitching at home against Colorado when Colorado was really cold. And at Minnesota was the last game. But those are when he was priced at 4,400 and 5,400. Yep. He wasn't in Texas with his weather. So I don't think I can pitch him tomorrow at his price and and in Texas with the weather. But again, it's not a guy I want to stack. I think, again, just a couple one-out plays.
Yeah, it's probably mostly like a cross-off game more than anything else. I don't think
for me, for sure.
Either of these pitchers either. So we move on to the Minnesota Twins and Kyle Gibson taking on James Shields, and the Chicago White Sox. Looks like the Twins are going to be $1.35 favorites, and we've got a 9-run total. And really nothing too interesting in the weather. 74 degrees, 5-mile-per-hour wind blowing out to right. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't understand. I know Kyle Gibson's been okay, but I don't know why he's 8,500 tomorrow. Other than so far the pitching's been pretty dismal. But it's not a guy I can go to tomorrow at this price. I think there's a couple of these bats here that can definitely get to him. Moncada's, great bat. Yomer Sanchez, Jose Abreu, those are all bats that can get to him. So no Gibson for me tomorrow. No Shields on the other side. This Twins bats definitely get a bump in a nice hitting park here in Chicago. And I like them today. They're still going right now, and this is one of the higher scoring games on the slate. So I think it's pretty good matchup again. People don't like to play Eddie Rosario because it's too expensive, but he's a great play tomorrow. So is Escobar, Dozier, and Logan Morrison again. Probably go to the same stack that I did today. I think they're all in play.
I definitely like the lefties against James Shields, and I think Brian Dozier is about to go on a pretty hot hitting streak, so I'll throw him in there. I'm pretty sure he's got BVP as well against James Shields. On the other side, though, I may have some interest in Kyle Gibson. Trying to see if he's faced them yet this year. Kyle Gibson's got some pretty solid swing and miss type stuff. He faced them in May. 6.2 innings, 8 strikeouts, 2 walks, 4 hits, no homers, 3 earned runs. Good for 21.4 DK. And over the last 3 years, he's had a couple of high-scoring games against them. No lower than 6 Ks, as high as 8. So pretty solid range of 6 to 8 Ks. If we like the bats on Minnesota, you think he could be in line for the win. He's probably in the SP2 conversation. I don't think he's going to cut the SP1 conversation. But you're not like paying all the way up for some of these expensive arms on the slate, you want to go two kind of mid-tier guys. I think he's definitely in play for that. Trying to see who his umpire is tomorrow. Pitching friendly, not like Phil Miller pitching friendly, more towards like the neutral side of pitching friendly, but still like a positive for the pitcher. And I mean, he's coming in good form. He's average distance is 196. The average exit velocity is 89. 40% grounders. Like, he's coming in good form. I think the strikeouts can be there. We know the White Sox really struggle. They did do all right tonight. I'm not sure exactly how many runs they have, but that was against a worse pitcher in my opinion in Lance Lynn, a guy who really struggles versus lefties. I think Kyle Gibson is fine tomorrow, and probably one of the more interesting pitchers we've spoken about thus far, but we are going to mention a couple more right about now. So we got the Cleveland Indians and Justin Bieber taking on the St. Louis Cardinals and Jack Flaherty. This game looks to be a pick'em, or maybe the Cardinals slight favorites, minus 108. And I'm looking at it 8.5 total. Also looking at some pretty warm temperatures here, about 90 degrees. Let's see if there's any solid humidity here. Decent humidity, 68%, 68 degree dew points, 73, 81 degree humidity. Potential for some rain. Looks like not like a postponement, but potential for maybe a delay, which adds to that humidity. We'll see what the weather report looks like, but it looks like it's better than today was, and they ended up playing today. So what do you think here?
Yeah, I can see a lot of guys going to Shane Bieber tomorrow, just based on how bad the Cardinals have been against right-handed pitching this year.
They weren't bad today.
I don't go ahead this. What was that?
They weren't bad today against Kluber.
No, but I'm just just the history this year. But I don't think I can go to it. I think Cardinals been heating up a little bit. Matt Carpenter's been on fire. He's been hitting so well. It's almost a reason you wouldn't want to pitch anybody against him right now. I really want to probably fade both pitchers tomorrow. I think they're both a little overpriced for the matchup. I know Cleveland hasn't been great on the road, this year, but this Jack Flaherty's got some problems against lefties. I think Cleveland can be fine tomorrow. I think I would be interested in maybe some Cleveland bats here, because I think some guys are going to go to Flaherty. But for me, honestly, it's going to be Matt Carpenter. That's the main focus here. Probably my only play here in this whole game. I think there's some better spots to go to today, and I think if I'm going to go anywhere, it's going to be Matt Carpenter, and that's probably it.
I mean, I can certainly get behind Matt Carpenter. Double dong today. Game I don't even think is over yet. And has just been really on fire the last month. There's a handful of guys like him, Goldie, that have just been on a tear. And it's, tough not to play them even. And his price hasn't even really gotten to what he's been producing. So, you want to
but it's getting there.
Where's he at? Has he gotten over 5 yet?
He's at 47.
47. I mean, that's still, I think, too cheap for what he's been producing. Shane Bieber is a pretty solid prospect. Lots of control, good swing and miss stuff. Throws in the high, like 94s through 96s.
Hey, Paul, just gonna give you a heads up here. We got Kike Hernandez just got a hit, and now Justin Turner's up in the bottom of the 8th. So we both got him, and we need to get him to do something to make some money.
All right, man. Give us like a really loud, exciting celebration if it's the home run. So these are two good pitchers. Flaherty coming off the game of his life, but it was actually like the second time that he struck out 13 guys in a game this season. He certainly has that, crazy upside when he gets going. That was against Milwaukee, a fairly good team. He went 7 innings, 13 Ks, 2 walks, 1 hit, 1 home run allowed, 37 DK. I mean, That's some upside against Cleveland, who struggles on the road. They don't strike out a ton. Don't think I'll go to Flaherty, as he's on the more expensive end. Bieber, I'm with you. I don't think I'll go there either. I think I'd go to Kyle Gibson over Bieber, just on respect for the St. Louis lineup as well against a rookie. So, that being said, I don't love the stacks here either. Like, Cleveland struggles on the road, and I respect Flaherty, and I'm not going to take a rookie going into St. Louis in a really good hitting environment. It's maybe I'm with you. Maybe it's just gonna be Matt Carpenter and like some. You can always throw in like these value left-handed Indian guys at the bottom of the lineup, whether it's like a Kipnis or a Lonnie Chisenhall has been batting fifth and he's like 3-3. Tyler Naquin. We'll see who else cracks the lineup, but I don't mind those guys. And then you can always play Lindor, Brantley, and Ramirez. They're just really expensive, especially if you're trying to stack them all up. It's tough to do unless you have some value pitching. And it looks like we got a walk from our boy.
Yeah, that was terrible.
That's unfortunate. But I'll take 2 points. Maybe he'll score a run. Maybe we'll make it 4. And
we got Matt Kemp. Maybe Matt Kemp hit a home run.
So, yeah, I think that game's mostly a stay away. But I will say that both pitchers are viable. And, like, there's certain bats, especially Matt Carpenter, I'll have to dig in, do the profiling, and see if there's anything else that really pops out. But at this time, although I think there's things that are viable, I don't think I'll end up on much of it. Next game we got is the Chicago Cubs and Kyle Hendricks taking on the Los Angeles Dodgers and Alex Wood. I've got the Dodgers at minus 140 favorites right now and a 7.5 total. What are you doing here?
Yeah, so, this is one of those games where you got two pitchers that are kind of right there in the middle. They're both projected out to have a block game. Nothing spectacular. But both these offenses are can definitely get to either pitcher at any time here. Kyle Hendricks is probably the safer of the two. He's a little bit cheaper too, but Alex Wood's got probably the more upside and probably the better strikeout matchup as well. So if I had to pick one pitcher in cash, I'd probably go Hendricks for the savings, and then in GPPs I'd probably go to Wood. I don't think I'm going to go to either one of these pitchers. In general, I think that I like some of these Dodgers bats a little bit too much. Lefties tomorrow against Hendricks, so I think I'm going to do a lefty Dodgers stack tomorrow against Hendricks. Just a GPP play. I think it'll be very low owned because a lot of people are going to pitch Hendricks tomorrow. So I'll probably do that. Probably going to fade the Cubs.
Yeah, I mean, Chris Bryant got put on the 10-day DL today, so, definitely a blow to their lineup, especially versus a lefty. Outside of, like, Albert Almora, who's actually having a quiet, really, really solid season, who's going to be a nice value play, and Javi Baez, who hit 2 home runs as well as a grand slam today. Not a ton that I'm going to love on the Cubs side of things. Don't think I'll end up on Alex Wood at 8-2. Like, the Cubs actually don't strike out a ton. And, probably going to get a couple safer bats. Like, Chris Bryant, actually one of their higher strikeout guys this year, or at least the last month. Taking him out of the lineup, and not sure who played for him tonight. Let's see who's in their lineup. The Dodgers, who started for the Dodgers is a righty, so it's a little bit different situation.
All right, I made my money, dude. Tom Murphy just hit a double.
There you go. Boom.
Yeah,
Tom Murphy double and a Turner walk, and you're there. Beautiful.
Yeah, I got the Turner walk and I got the Kike single. So
nice. Yeah, so it looks like they played Javi Baez at third, Addison Russell at short, and Zobrist at second instead of the outfield, and then Schwarber hat. So we'll see. I'm anticipating Almora being in this lineup, and Baez would be the two guys I'd be interested in. Maybe Contreras. Don't really love picking on Wood though, but he's hit or miss. Like, he also usually doesn't go deep into games, so I don't mind like a 1 or 2 man off the Cubs. Nothing I'm too excited about. I'd probably be more interested in the left-handed power bats on the Dodgers. Max Muncy, Jock Peterson, been incredibly hot lately. Bellinger seems to be waking up, and Matt Kemp's been hot all year. between those four guys and maybe even a Yasmani Grandal if he cracks the lineup, I definitely have some interest in the Dodgers. Not a ton, though. Hendricks keeps the ball down, keeps it on the ground. It's a big park. There's other spots I prefer on the slate. But you could definitely grab a bat or two on either side. I doubt I end up on these pitchers. Last game, we got Kyle Freeland and the Colorado Rockies, taking on Madison Bumgarner, and your San Francisco Giants. I'm looking at the Giants as minus 145 favorites, and we have a 7.5 total here. Is Mad Bum back, or was that just the Padres being the Padres?
That was, he looked better. But that was the Padres being the Padres and the ump giving Mad Bum all the love in the world. I mean, I counted 5 or 6 strikeouts that weren't even close.
That's funny. CK he had me look up the umpire for that game because he was like, that had to be a pitching-friendly ump, and it really wasn't. He was more of a neutral guy, which is interesting because, apparently he was giving him a lot of good calls. And prior to that, I wasn't really too impressed with Madison Bumgarner.
No, I remember like the week. Okay, so the couple streams before we did together, and he was pitching on it. You were going to throw him as a low option. I wasn't on him. I used him. And I was like,
he got destroyed. I used him every start except for last one.
I used him the last start. See, that's the funny one. I used the last start because I told you it was like, this is the one, and against the Padres, and it was. And I think he's okay. I think this is a good matchup for him. I think actually both pitchers are in play here. It's in San Francisco. Definitely, I think you can go to both pitchers here. They both project out well. I don't think I'm going to stack the pitchers in this game in a cash game, maybe in a GBP, maybe on the later slate together. They look like good options. But I like Bumgarner. He's going to be probably the chalk pitcher tomorrow, I'll be honest with you. Because of Colorado not being so great outside of Colorado, this is a great ballpark. Everybody's going to think of old Madison Bumgarner. He had a huge game against San Diego last game. Everybody's going to think he's 100%. So I will tell you he's probably the chalk tomorrow.
Yeah, he might be. He definitely might be, especially if Robbie Ray's on a pitch count.
Yeah.
Especially in cash, it's usually the more expensive pitchers. Like, I must have. Oh, no. Okay. Never mind. Yeah. Keep going. Yeah. No, he's probably going to be your chalk SP1 in cash. I don't know if I'm ready to pitch Madison Bumgarner in cash games just yet, but
I don't know if I am either. But I you know what? I've done some worse things in cash. Like I faded Sale on Sunday. I still got there and still made my money, but it was very scary, very risky to do that. So yeah, believe me, I'm sure people will play him, and there will be some people that'll fade him. I'm kind of in the middle. The problem that we have here is that where are we going to go to with Robbie Ray? If Robbie Ray is on the pitch count, do you want to go there and cash? There's just not a ton of great options.
Yep. And what about the other side here? Any interest in the Giants' bats against Freeland?
Not a ton. I really like the lefties here in general with the Giants. I just don't think it's the spot for him. I maybe like Gorkys Hernandez. I think you can go there. He's okay at a home run today. And maybe Andrew McCutchen, but that would really be it. I don't really like to pay up for Buster Posey. I just don't get the production. It'll get me some hits, but I think I can get a home run cheaper from another, catcher.
Yeah, he's priced on reputation, and when he's at home, it's a tough ballpark for him. Sure. So I don't end up playing him a ton either. Don't play a lot of Giants bats, any bats in this stadium. I took a quick peek outside of Arenado and surprisingly Carlos Gonzalez. No one else really has hit Madison Bumgarner all that well, and they do have some pretty solid samples. I think Bumgarner is he's not what he used to be. I think he still has the ability to be a good pitcher.
Yeah.
But I don't think he's going to overpower people as much as he used to. I don't think he's going to get the Ks like he used to unless he's facing a Chicago White Sox or a Padres in a park like that.
Yeah.
I think Arenado's interesting, but the Rockies are the wrong team to use against Bumgarner in this park. I think he's fine. I just don't think he's going to be worth his price. I don't think I'm going to play a ton of cash tomorrow on this slate. I'll probably just play all tournaments. If I was playing cash, I guess I could go to Madison Bumgarner. But I think I'd be perfectly comfortable also going with two kind of mid-tier guys and loading up on more bats, like, maybe the Boston bats or something like that, rather than like overpaying on Bummer. Like I don't see him having like a flawless game here. I think he'll run into trouble, and I don't think the K's are going to get much higher than like 6. So still a great park. And then Freeland, he's just too expensive on DK at 8.3. He doesn't strike out enough guys. I think he's relatively safe as well. I don't expect the Giants to score a ton of runs. But, like, unless he has, like, a game where he only gives up, like, 2 hits, no walks, he's just not going to accumulate a ton of points, especially if he does give up a run or two. So, without the strikeouts, it's tough. Don't think I'll land on him at all. It's an interesting slate.
Hey, Paulie, just giving you a heads up that Justin Turner and Kike both got a stolen base. So
wow, really?
Yeah, that might help. It might help you out a little bit.
A double steal. Wow.
Not a double steal. Kike got a stolen base first, and then after he did, Justin Turner stolen base.
Oh my God, are you for real?
Yeah, and they got Max Muncy up right now at the plate with the both of them on.
Wow, Justin Turner. That's his first stolen base of the year.
Yeah.
That's hilarious. Yeah, score that run. It'll be what is that? 2 + 5. It'd be a 9 point. That could help actually a lot.
Yeah, so we got Logan Morrison batting now too. So we got all these guys on base and all these like.
Yeah, dude, it's all happening late at night. Yeah. Pop in the money.
There's a Justin Turner run.
Nice. Yeah, it did pop me up. Yeah. I'm actually up like $120 now in the day, which is nicer than $50. So, what do you think? What are we gonna do? Top threes on the slate. What are top 3 arms? What do you got?
Yeah. So, like, man, this is an ugly slate for pitching right now on the surface. But I think that in cash, I honestly think that Robbie Ray's going to be on a pitch limit. I don't think anybody's going to go there. I think Bumgarner's probably going to be the guy. Especially with the history. So I like him tomorrow. And then I'm going to say I just don't want to pitch Rick Porcello tomorrow. But I probably would go with
It's tough.
It's tough. So I'm going to say Madison Bumgarner. I'm going to say man, just nothing. I'm gonna go with Luis Cessa. I like him a little bit here. He's a cheap guy. Probably gonna go there, and then I think GBPs. I think Alex Wood has got a lot of upside in this matchup, so I'm probably gonna go there. Those are probably my 3 guys.
I can see it with KB out.
Yeah.
I mean, I definitely have interest in Kyle Gibson against the White Sox. I don't mind. I don't mind Mad Bum, but I don't really want to put him in my favorite pitcher list either.
I understand. And he'll come around to you tomorrow.
Maybe we'll see. I mean, on FanDuel, I like his price a lot better. Sure. On DraftKings 11-2, it's a little tight for a guy I don't think has the strikeout stuff. Sure. And then that third guy, it's tough. I guess I was hard to get too, bro. With the weak Mike Trout at the moment, I guess I'll go Rick Porcello.
Yeah, I was going to go there, but I'm afraid.
Pretty much handled them pretty easily. I think Porcello is better than Dave Price. So.
Yeah, it's just the handedness. It's just the handedness.
I know. But, I mean, as long as Trout's got that mid on, then, that team is just a shell of itself right now. I mean, they were like, gangbusters early in the year when Ohtani was healthy and they were putting up runs left and right. I don't know. I don't love this team right now. I don't know if they'll make the playoffs.
We got to remember the Angels are kind of like the Red Sox a little bit. They're not the greatest against left-handed pitching. So, that's why I thought David Price was going to have a good game against him today.
Stacks. What stacks you looking at?
Let's see. I'm gonna go with the Red Sox tomorrow. I like them against Heaney. I think Heaney's gonna get blown up. I like this Tigers Oakland stack today as a game stack. I really like that. I think that's going to be a good option. And I am going to go with the Twins White Sox game stack again. I think those are the where I'm going to go. I'm not going to do probably a stack of either team, just a game stack.
All right. I like the Twins a lot against James Shields. I like the Orioles, and I will take. I'll take the Tigers against Chris Bassett. And last but not least, let's call out some dongs. Who do you got for home runs?
Yeah, give me 1 second here. So yeah, home runs tomorrow.
By the way, did Dominic Smith home run for you today? Because I know you usually hit your off the wall home run calls like Pablo Sandoval, but
I didn't
Dominic
watch the game.
Smith,
I didn't see it.
I gotta check that.
Yeah.
I hope he did. Because I want that crazy Johnny the Freak mode home run.
I got who homered today that was off the wall that I got. There was another guy that was off the wall. He homered. I know it was funny. I took my late stack. I took Iannetta and Gorkys Hernandez, and they both homered on their first at bat. That was
really
cool. Yeah.
So the Rockies played Iannetta and Tom Murphy tonight.
No, Iannetta. Sorry, Desmond. I'm sorry, Ian Desmond.
Ian Desmond.
Ian Desmond. So Ian Desmond homered on his first at bat. So that was pretty cool. And then I took Chad Pinder, and Chad Pinder homered too. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah.
Pinder was good. So I think for me, where I would look at is going to be Adrian Beltre tomorrow against Clayton Richards. I like that. I think that's going to be one of the few home runs in this game. I don't think there's going to be a lot of home runs.
Sure, I could take Adrian Beltre versus a lefty. No complaints there. I will go with Eddie Rosario.
I like it. I'm going to go with Brian Dozier. Actually, he's got tremendous BVP against James Shields.
Right?
Might be the BVP play of the day if you're a BVP follower.
I will go with JD Martinez versus the lefty Andrew Heaney.
I like that a lot. And let's see. No, like that. Don't like that. I'm gonna go with Trey Mancini against Wade LeBlanc. I like
Trey
that.
Mancini.
Yeah.
And I'll go with your boy to stay hot, Matt Carpenter.
Did you look up what's his if he hit a home run today?
He did not. He actually struck out 4 times.
Oh God, you got the Golden Sombrero +1.
Yep. But I mean, you hit the Chance Cisco homer call like a few months back. You hit the Pablo call. Like, I had faith. I didn't put him in a lineup though. Dominic Smith. He played in that. I think it's called the Cactus League. It's like the Western Coast AAA or AA league where it's basically like Coors Field every night, where there's just like the offense is like on steroids all the time. And he hit 0 home runs.
And this game was supposed to be really good. He was supposed to be
6 months. Yeah.
I think this is like isn't this his third different time, like in 3 different years he got called up? Like, I think his first year he got called up, he was supposed to be this like legit prospect. They were just talking up, and he was horrible.
Yep. Yeah. I mean, I don't really have a ton of confidence in him, but he is, one of their higher prospects. We'll check with CK, the Met fan, get a scouting report.
On him.
But if you are not a member yet of the Nation, tomorrow's another great day to try us out for $2.50. There will be a strategy session in the morning, probably around 1, not exactly the morning, but 1 p.m. Eastern. Morning if you're in LA with Johnny. It'll be about 10 a.m. West Coast time. We break down the slate. We do some other tutorial type stuff that's pertinent to the slate or to DFS. Just good old-fashioned strategy session that has really been helpful. A lot of guys that have been taking part have been benefiting, have been winning more money, and I think if you ask anyone that's been in there, it's a pretty cool, helpful tool that's available to all our members. Anyone that wants to try us out, $2.50 4-day pass. If you are watching us on iTunes, if you're watching us, I was about to say Skype, but you're not watching us on Skype. On Twitter, on Twitch, on Podbeam, on YouTube, please give us the thumbs up. Please hit the like button. Please like and share. All those things help the nation do what we do and bring you this fire content. With that being said, Johnny, anything else you want to say before we get out of here?
No, man. We got NFL around the corner, though.
Oh, yeah.
And so it's heating up, and it's going to be on, man. Game time, my favorite sport. Yeah. It's good times, and now is a great time for some coaching. I know we've been doing it with Wise Take with Paulie and CK with the coaching sessions for baseball. Been amazing. Helping a lot of the guys out there. I promise you, Nation. I said I was going to do a couple sessions here. We got a couple things coming up here in the works. Being CK. Probably going to announce it on the next Wise stream for you all what I'm going to do for you guys. But I just think it's another great slate tomorrow for baseball. Any day we can play some DFS. It's amazing, man. Life is great.
Life is good. So for Johnny the Freak, for myself, for the entire Wise Take Nation, good luck and good night.
Peace. Ship it.